This is Amy of Flower Moxie, and we're doing an unboxing of our ready-made bouquets, Peachy Keen. So these just got in this morning, and they're for the shoot, which is on Thursday, so today's Tuesday, so in 2 days. They always look tired when they arrive, and that's normal. This is why we do these unboxing videos, so you have a really clear expectation. So I have these really inexpensive hydration vases, which you're going to want to get. You can get these at Walmart or the dollar store. And this is optional, but I'm adding a little bit of flower food to the water just to give these a little bit of sugar. And it has a biocide in it to kind of keep the bacteria low for the water. And this is one of my favorites. I think it's just so sweet. It has blushes and peaches in it, predominantly peach. So we're gonna cut and hydrate these. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut off quite a bit of the length. And then when I go to make it into a bouquet or whatever it's going to be, whether it's a centerpiece or bouquet, I'm probably gonna take way more length off, especially if it is a bouquet, because I don't like my bouquets to have long stems. I like them to be pretty short. Okay, so this is really looking closed and tight and sleepy, and that is okay. It's what we expect. What I'm gonna do as these are hydrating is I'm gonna come in and pull up the ones that need to open. So I've got these ranunculus, because the more compact they are, hold on. For a large bouquet, I'm gonna put it in this one. I prefer this kind of hydration vase. See how I got more, like it spread out a little bit more on me? So I just, if you can find a vase that has more of a flare to it, that way it's not so much of a cylinder, it can spread more. Okay, the first thing that you need to know is that you're gonna have guard petals. So I've got some ugly petals on here that they're gonna be plucked off. I'm not gonna worry about plucking these off until these have hydrated. I just need them to relax and hydrate before I start to manipulate them and process them more. I just wanna make sure that everybody has some breathing room, and they're gonna look amazing in a day. You're probably gonna get these about 3 to 4 days before your wedding. And that's the perfect amount of time. They will last. This is not grocery store flowers. Grocery store flowers have been cut about a week or 2 prior. These come directly from the farm, and they're made at the farm. And I've visited all the farms, and they're incredible, particularly this one. This one's in Ecuador and has great working environments. It's beautiful. They serve their workers breakfast and lunch. They provide transportation to the farm, so they pick them up from their home, and then free childcare. So I really enjoyed my stay. I loved watching them put these together, and I've made some Instagram reels on this, so you can probably find that. Okay. These are looking good. These carnations are perfect. Sweet William. Roses need to open. Now I do have a really bruised one right here, and that's okay. Know that even with these ready-mades, you might have like a broken stem or two, and that's just how it's gonna be. But we're gonna give these a day to fluff up, and they're gonna look amazing. Now let's talk about modifying these, or if they're really close but not exactly what you want, or maybe you want to add blue delphinium or white lisianthus or Juliet garden roses. You can easily backfill, and I would still recommend buying these ready-mades and then backfilling, because it takes out so much of your work. So let's say there's a flower that you want to add, like 75% of the work is already done for you. These are cleaned, trimmed, ready to go. So it takes nothing for me to pick this up, grab like 5 Juliets, and hand place them. And so that's how you're going to get that customization with these. Because I know brides, like I was a wedding planner for 14 years, and I know that there might be some flower that you have your heart set on, but you shouldn't disqualify these ready-mades, especially if you've got a lot going on that week, which you will because, you know, you're getting married. And even if you're a new florist or an experienced florist, we were talking internally about this. I'm like, today, if I was doing a peach wedding, I would buy all these ready-mades and then I would just backfill because I know it would cut my time like in half. I would have to hire half the designers that I normally would just because I've saved myself so much time and work and even recipeing things out. So it's not just for DIYers. I think it's a really smart option as a florist. So I want to point out the scabiosa. Super sad. Look at that. It's okay. It'll perk back up. But I'm going to reposition this one in the middle. And I'm going to let it have some buddies to nestle up against because I don't want gravity to pull it even further on that curve. This ranunculus, I'm going to adjust this guy to be in the middle but not touching anything so he can open up. This is this really nice hybrid delphinium. Delphinium typically is very, very linear, but they have this variety that's just shorter and delicate and dainty, and it works so well in bouquets. So I just had to point out that I was excited about that. Yeah, so this is Peachy Keen. This is one of our most popular ones because peach is such a dominant color in the wedding industry right now. And then Pantone came out with their color of the year, which was like peach fuzz. So this one is definitely an incredible one. Comes with carnation, sweet william, spray roses, scabiosa, ranunculus. So it's a really beautiful one. And then last thing is on these carnations, they're gonna come very green, very closed. And if they're extremely closed and they're not blowing out on you, you can take your thumb and manually open them. That is the great thing about a carnation. But I'm gonna give it a day before I go touching them just to let them do their own thing. So this is day 2. This bouquet is looking really good. I did have to pluck off more guard petals in these, but I told you to expect that. So it's just been hydrating. These have been opening. And so I'm gonna show you that you can take this bouquet and you can always bind it and slap a ribbon on it and make some adjustments and it would be ready to go. But as a florist, I think that backfilling a little bit will go a long way, and I wanted to show you how easy that is to do. And so what I mean by that is you've got a bouquet that's pretty much built. It's all built in a spiral method, and I'm picking it up in my hands and I'm just adding 2. So let's say you are a peach bride and you're like, yeah, that's pretty much it, but it doesn't have Juliet garden roses. And I really wanted a little bit more movement. So it's just not gonna work. I'm telling you, it can work, and I'll show you how it will work. And you might be asking why, like, why don't I just buy everything and start from scratch? It's time and money. The price point on these come out so well that it's the same as if you started from scratch versus whether you took this ready-made and just added a few things. And it's just like a way to customize it. So, okay, I've got a mirror here. I'm gonna go ahead and relax my hand. And if you notice, I'm already starting to stack it. So I'm pulling flowers a little bit lower. I'm raising these back ones up a little bit higher. That's because I like my bouquets to be front loaded. And the reason being is it can fit against your body easier. You can move with it better, and then you're gonna be laying down these flowers all day. So if it was built 360 and you laid it down on a different side each time, then by the end of the day, or by the time your ceremony got there, it would just look really rough. So I've got some white stock, so I just wanna add a little bit of movement to it. So I'm coming in and I'm just adding a little bit of this white stock. And because this was already built in the spiral method at the farm, I can just kind of find the direction that the stems are going and place that new flower, just kind of nestle it down in, gather it up with my hand, and easily add it. And I'm kind of checking in the mirror, I'm gonna raise this ranunculus up. And so I'm just gonna kind of take it nice and easy and do these additions. I would say price-wise, this comes out as good or better than starting from scratch. And like I said, I like to sew, but I really like to start just with thrift store clothes that are already done. So then I just make tweaks. You're like, fun hobby I did not care to know about, Amy. Okay, so I wanna bring this Juliet Garden Rose. It's super thorny. Callie, thanks for getting all the thorns. So I wanna add this Juliet Garden Rose. Ah, nice. See how nice that is? And so I could just pop one or two of these in the bridesmaid ready-mades to make them all cohesive. So this was a weird angle. I'm gonna bring this one in and lay it down. See, I can, if your hand gets sore, because my hands are sore, you can lay it down and just manually place it. But all of a sudden we took this, you know, really nice bouquet just on its own, and we're augmenting it. And it's already built in a spiral, so you don't have to trip balls thinking that you can't figure out how to do the spiral. I've got some Lysianthus. Again, I want some dancers. Get some longer pieces for the back. So this is gonna work really nice with my stalk that's poking out, so it's not poking out all awkward. We're giving it a buddy. And I'm just kind of rough placing it. I'll look in the mirror and zhuzh it. So it's not where it needs to be, but that's okay. So if you don't have a lot of helpers or you're pressed for time, then you're gonna want to do these ready-mades. I'm telling you, this looks really good. So, you know, you could add in touches of blue if you wanted to come in with delphinium. Sweet peas are really nice. So I didn't add that many more flowers, but it definitely filled it out and it looks like a different bouquet now. And that's why we wanted to make these videos, because I knew if I just told you in writing like, oh, you can do this, you'd be like, uh-huh. Yeah, no. So hopefully now you believe me. Yeah, okay. I have this pretty much where I want it. So you know me, I like short stems, so I think that we can even go shorter than this, but for now I'll just leave it as is, take a rubber band, wrap it around. Maybe I can go twice. Barely. Okay. Hold it up and, that's too tight. I hate it when it, dang it. Ouch. I need a zip tie. Stat. I want the binding loose enough because I want to be able to shake it. Thank you. I'm done with my diva moment. So the thing I like about the zip ties is that I can really control the tightness of it. So I come in and I start with it being loose. I get it right up to the handle, put the nub in back, and then I'm going to come in and loosen this up. That not only makes it larger in appearance, you know, the flowers as you're building kind of fall in on themselves, and we want them to have more breathing room and more space. So you sometimes just need to kind of like, just jiggle it a bit. So once you get the placement where you want it, then you can tighten down that zip tie. And rubber bands work, I just didn't have the perfect size. So either one is really nice. And then you can just sit and make adjustments, like raise those ranunculus up so they're really well seen, raise the scabiosa up, let them dance above the carnations and the roses, like maybe the less expensive flowers. And so you really get that nice movement. So yeah, this one is, I can already tell, going to be one of our best sellers just because peach is such a popular color. But yeah, this was, you know, relatively easy to do in way less time than if I were to start with raw flowers, prep them all, strip them all, organize them. It's like already ready to go. So, all right. Well, we'll call this one done. So what I added was white stock, some white lisianthus, and about two, well, really just one or two spray roses. And I still have left over, and I added some Juliettes. So, Peachy Keen, one of my favorites. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.